Hi. Are you a leader over 40 who's feeling stiff or stuck or stagnant? What's the point? It's not a midlife crisis. It's a crossroads. It's a calling. It's a chance for you to choose ease. And that's what I'm here to tell you about, is my fabulous framework, EASE, E-A-S-E, which comes from the Wise Life formula of simple steps that I used when I fell apart physically in my 40s, when I burned out in my 50s. Yeah, I'm getting close to those 60s here, so I'm definitely interested in creating more ease and sharing it with you, how simple it can be. Let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Wendy of Wiseman Integrative, based in Folsom, California. Distinctive by nature. Yes, I was attracted to that slogan because I'm like, I identify. I'm distinctive by nature. Can't put me in a box. Nope. Multi-passionate creator, founder, community catalyst, and super schooler. SKOOL. That's the platform School. If you're not familiar with it, it's a new online community platform where you can create a space, a culture, an environment that pays you for doing what you love. And they've made it so simple and all in one, where you don't need a bunch of different apps, and you don't need this for your email and this for your courses and this for your money taking and this for whatever. You end up with this stack of all of these different apps, and then it drains your bank account. It drains your brain account too. You end up overwhelmed and burned out, like so many of us coaches, creators, consultants have experienced as we give and give and give and strive and strive and strive and hustle and grind, and then can't go on anymore because this business we created to break free, to have that time and location freedom and that, effortless income, has ended up being like 3 or 5 or 7 jobs all wrapped up in one, eating all of your time, all of your money, all of your attention. Take a nice deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Smile. That's right. And enjoy. Generate some joy by thinking of something you love. That's why I love this backdrop, this nature trail. That's why I love Mr. Max over there chewing on his bone. My joy boy, I can always think of his face and it uplifts me. If I start to get too stressed or frustrated with technology or overwhelmed by all the things or feeling like I'm not getting enough done, no matter how much I do, I can breathe, smile, and generate some joy to help me through. Those are the 3 keys that anybody, anywhere, anytime can use to reset. And the more you practice them, the more it becomes an automatic behavior, a programmed activity, a way of living. Not more to do, not a thing you have to stop everything and focus on. It might be at first, because if you think about it, you didn't learn to sit up or crawl or walk or ride a bicycle or drive a car or use the device that you're on right now without a bit of concentrated focus, applying your attention, and failing and getting frustrated a few times. Watch a baby, but they don't fall down and go, I'm never going to do it, and sit there and never try again, do they? No. They fall down, and they get up and they try again because they want to move. They want to explore. They're curious, right? When we can add a bit more of that into our living, into the way we think about our body, and our business, and our overall being, body, business, being, our life, your life, this wild ride, this grand adventure life, doesn't have to be so complicated. It often gets so complicated by the ideas that we create about things, which is why it's great to come together in small, focused groups, communities online, on platforms such as school, also to hydrate, to have that accountability, because we're in an information age of total overload and misinformation, and AI is just making it better and worse simultaneously. In all of our attempts to connect, we've become very disconnected from ourselves and from one another and from our environment in these engineered environments, wearing shoes and clothing that cuts us off from earth energies, not spending enough time outside in nature, not getting enough vitamin D, staring at screens for hours and hours and hours. I've done some body work on some of the employees at the Intel campus here in Folsom, California, and Intel sets up so that the computers lock, so that they're forced or encouraged or they can't work during those break times. However, everyone I've worked on simply switches devices, gets on their phone or their tablet, and I was like, when are you not on your phone or a device other than when you're sleeping? And he's like, when I'm here on the table getting body work, right? He's like, I'm sitting on it in my phone, while I'm eating and all the time. And I'm like, well, that explains your neck and shoulder pains. But so many of us are trapped in that device dependency. And it's really hard on our brains, our energy, our everything. So taking the time to pause, to tune in, to check yourself before you wreck yourself becomes more and more important as your decades go on, right? 20-year-olds can still hustle and grind and stay up and pull all-nighters and work, 18, 20-hour days and not face the consequences that I felt in my 40s that are more intense in my 50s and will probably be even a more challenging recovery if attempted in my 60s. However, I'm designing my dream life so that I won't need to deal with that anymore. Yeah? I don't want to burn out again. I don't want to fall apart physically. And I want to enjoy the money I make instead of spending it on health care and health maintenance. Right? So by investing a little bit today, by making sacrifices today, in not spending extravagantly on cars or clothes or vacations, and instead putting it all into building this dream life that will serve me through the decades to come, and setting up recurring income streams on this fabulous platform called School, monthly recurring revenue, so that I'm earning while I sleep and I can invest and create more compounding income and all of that wonderful financial stuff I wish I had been taught in grade school, or at least in high school, or at least in college or somewhere in my life before I found out I was fucked in my 40s, right? So many 50-year-olds are without any retirement or savings, and it doesn't need to be that way, especially with the opportunities for the platform right now. But if you are successful and you're just feeling stagnant, like there must be more, like your life is lackluster and you're in that midlife meh, or that midlife crisis, which again is a crossroads, is a calling, a chance to change, to choose something that suits you, a chance to check yourself before you wreck yourself on any of these levels, physically in your body, in your brain, in your business, in your being, overall, all aspects. And that's what the Wise Life formula is all about. My signature program, Wise Choices, sprang out of the many myriad of poor choices I made throughout my years. Yes, and then when I was falling apart in my 40s and they were like, oh, menopause, just take these mood-altering pills to help stabilize you. And they never once suggested lifestyle changes. And I'm like, let's hold on the pills. And I'm going to eat less sugar and stop eating late at night and walk more and spend my breaks out in nature instead of sitting in some cafe or cafeteria or fast food joint. Right? Choices. Simple, small shifts that over time created long, lasting changes that I don't even have to think about anymore. There's foods that I just don't eat anymore because I've programmed my operating system to flow more efficiently by just deciding that this is who I want to be, and by training myself to these new behaviors. Instead of chasing quick fixes, oh, fix it, make it go away, instead of wishing it would go away, instead of wanting it to be better, taking simple, small actions that fit my life. The gym didn't fit my life, especially at that time when I had insomnia and all of the noise of the different TVs and the people on their phone when they weren't supposed to be, and the sounds of the machines and the weights and the lighting. Oh my goodness, no, that did not work for me at all. Yeah, so finding what fits your life. Maybe what fits your life is the expensive yoga outfit, mat, and membership, because you need to be around those people to be motivated. That's not for me either. I can do my yoga wherever I'm sitting cross-legged right now and upright, you know. I don't need all of those things and those people for accountability. I'd rather crawl around exploring some nature outside. But it's about finding what works for you. And that's the first step of the ease framework to carry you through. Explore. When you get curious about what is this pain trying to tell me, it's a signal to get your attention. If you get curious about where is all my energy going, if I feel like I'm doing everything all the time and not getting enough done, why is that? Right? My business is always in the red. Where are the leaks? You get curious about any of these things. This relationship is strained. Why? What is it? And get to the root instead of the surface symptoms. You explore with curious, non-judgmental, observational attention. Attention is the first phase of the Wise Life formula. 3 pillar phases: attention, activation, adaptation. These are the 3 keys for a wise life. Awareness is the key to unlocking change, but yeah, I'm aware, I need to change, okay. It's like being in a room and knowing okay, I'm fine, there's a door here in this room, that's great. But until you direct your attention to finding the door, you're never going to move out of where you are into the next place, or the next state. So your attention brings your awareness into focus, drawing you towards your target. And that next phase is activation. Attention pulls you into action by activating those first baby steps, right? That's where you move into action. As Bruce Lee would say, be a practical dreamer backed by action. Yes, that serves me well because I've been a daydreamer all my life and I'm constantly dreaming. If you don't take the simple step-by-step actions for progressive improvement, so they're like steps that take you somewhere instead of just actions. Like, I'll scroll this and now, and then next thing you know, I was on Amazon and I bought all this stuff. I don't remember buying it, right? There's a lot of action in there. It's not leading you where you want to go. It's not the path you want to be on. It's just where you ended up. So ease, back to ease, and the 3 pillar phases of the Wise Life formula. The fabulous framework of ease, which sprang out of so many difficulties in my 50s. I'm like wise choices came out of the poor choices leading up to my 40s. Ease has sprung forth from difficulties in my 50s. To simplify it, have that step-by-step framework. Explore, activate the changes you seek. And then the next is scale. And that could be scaling to 7 figures or, making more money in your business. Or it could just mean strengthening your muscles, improving your relationship, enhancing, expanding, scaling, climbing, improving. Yes? It's about sustainable progress. It's about course correction. This is the adaptation phase, When you're driving, you don't just go, right? And airplanes don't just go, there's constant course correcting and adjustment. When you stand still, you're not really still. You're in an approximation of stillness, but there's constant balancing is a dynamic state. There is no true balance. Even things that seem balanced are going to, shift slightly in the wind. So that covers the three simple steps. So what's the fourth one? Why is there a fourth one? Because if you add appreciation to those, it's like the fuel that keeps that wheel turning, right? The appreciation keeps you going through the cycles of attention, activation, adaptation, explore, activate, scale, grow. So enjoy is the appreciation phase that helps you keep going with ease. Yeah. So the idea is you take each simple, small step, small shift, simple, small shifts, you stack them, you add them up, and you create the state that makes you feel great so that you don't have to think about all of these to-dos. Okay, to live a healthy life, I have to get up in the morning, take a cold shower, do an ice plunge, and then do hot yoga, and then go to this other place and lift weights, and then also meditate and journal, and do I want to be in the 5 a.m. club or... and then to go to bed, I have to stop doing this 3 hours before bed, stop doing this 2 hours before bed, stop doing this 1 hour before bed, and make sure that before all that, I do this, 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 and this. You want to have structure, and some people need more than other people, and you definitely want to set yourself up for success. But when you get so tied to all of these rigid routines that aren't really aligned with you and who you want to be and how you want to live, your idea about success becomes a failure, a recipe for failure, right? And not the kind of failure that leads you to success. The kind of failure that holds you back becomes a limiting, painful pattern. It's like saying, the difference between saying, I have to do this, or I get to do this. You see the difference? Same thing. I have to go to the gym. I get to go to the gym. I have to walk the dog. I get to walk the dog. I have to do this outreach. I get to do this outreach. I have to pay this bill. I get to pay this bill. I'm thankful to pay this bill that supports my lifestyle, right? It's a shift in perspective. So there's a lot of mindset work in here. And I'm going to wrap this up and tell you where you can learn more. But I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, please hit that subscribe button and come join me on school. That's right, hit the subscribe button so you get notified when there are new YouTube videos. And then come join us on School, the platform, School, SKOOL. The link's there in the description. You can find us easily at enjoy.wisewithwendy.com. That is the enjoyease community. Daily actions for happiness with motivational quotes. A wonderful crew on the journey with you, all of us travelers together, doing it our own way in our own time together with support of like-minded individuals. So I hope you'll enjoy this. When you come join us to enjoyease, you will get a 5-day challenge, plus a one-to-one call with me, a quick start to unlock ease. And then you can upgrade to a 21-day Grow with Ease challenge or a 6-week accelerator. You can also engage in the community to unlock that original Wise Choices course and some pain solution programs that I have from a different pain-free community that I used to run. I'm a neuromuscular myofascial therapist, human movement specialist, health certified health coach, behavior change specialist, and I've been a certified personal trainer and corrective exercise specialist too in the past in my over 3 decades since the late 80s of working with the body in motion, pain-free movement, pain-free living, and integrating health. That's what Wise one of the acronyms is Wellness Integration Solution Essentials. And that's the heart of ease, right? The basics. You set the basics so that you don't have to think about them. Just like if you drive or ride a bicycle or swim now, you don't have to really think about the steps. And you can't learn any of those things from reading a book. You have to practice them. You don't need more information. You just need that supportive crew along on the journey with you. And that's what we are. So if this sounds good to you, like I said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then come join us in school. The easiest way to get there is enjoy.wisewithwendy.com. I'll see you on the inside. Can't wait to meet you.